Is Bloom's whey protein powder a good option? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing the brand new protein powder that came out by Bloom Nutrition. And yes, I'm talking about Bloom Nutrition, the one that has the viral greens powder, which FYI I have reviewed before, so check it out after this video. In particular, I'm going to be reviewing their ingredients, their claims, their cost, and whether I think it is a good option. But first, hi, my name is Katey. I'm a registered dietitian and certified personal trainer. My goal with this channel is to help you learn more about nutrition, fitness, and wellness so that you can be your best, whatever that looks like. I also love to do product reviews, so if you have any products or topics you want me to cover, just let me know in the comments below. All right, let's get started. What is Bloom Whey Protein Isolate? Now, I already have talked about Bloom as a company before, so you can check out my other video to learn more about them. So I'm just going to dive right into the product. Their product is a whey isolate protein powder, and this is a milk-based product that is almost exclusively protein. And whey protein isolate is considered the gold standard for protein powders and is well researched. Also, whey protein isolate tends to be a lot lower in lactose, so if lactose is a problem for you, then likely for the average person, unless you're super sensitive to it, will tolerate whey protein isolate quite well. On top of this, Bloom has a lot of different flavors in terms of their protein powders, so it provides options for a lot of people. So now let's take a look at the ingredients. Now I'm going to look at the vanilla protein powder label just because that's a very common flavor. So the ingredients do vary a little bit depending on which flavor you choose, but generally the nutrition part of it is the same. First of all, one serving is one scoop, which I like already. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine when protein powders make you add multiple scoops to have one serving. I like it when it's just one solid scoop added in and that's the serving. It has 100 calories per serving, which almost exclusively comes from protein. So as a friendly reminder, protein has 4 calories a gram. And because there are 22 grams of protein in the product, this equals 88 calories. The remaining 12 calories comes from the 3 grams of carbohydrates, which also have 4 calories per gram. And if I had to take a guess, it's probably from the maltodextrin, and it might be a little bit from the lactose, but whey protein powder is pretty low in lactose, so I'd probably err on the side of it's probably that maltodextrin. So like I mentioned, it has 22 grams of protein, which is a pretty decent amount for a protein powder. I would say that most good protein powders have about 20 to 30 grams of protein per serving. And like I mentioned, it is a whey protein isolate, and this is considered to have one of the best amino acid profiles of all of the protein powders out there. In particular, it does usually contain a higher amount of an amino acid known as leucine, which is a branched chain amino acid that is very, very important for muscle building. However, a downside is that the company doesn't provide a breakdown of the amino acid profile, so it's actually quite difficult to know the amounts in this product. And a lot of companies do provide an amino acid breakdown, so I don't really see why Bloom couldn't do that. If we go down to the ingredient list, we see that it has a digestive enzyme blend with a couple different enzymes. Just so you know, digestive enzymes are types of enzymes that help to break down food, and each enzyme has a very specific purpose. So for example, amylase is in this product, and that helps to break down carbohydrates. I don't really think this is a necessary enzyme to add because the product doesn't really have a lot of carbs in it, and it's mostly protein based. Then we have proteases, which do break down proteins. So in theory, this could help break down some of the proteins in the product, but the issue with this is that whey protein isolate is considered to have a very high digestibility rate, meaning that we tolerate it well and it digests quite easily. So it seems a little unnecessary to add this to the product. Then it has lactase, which does technically make sense because this is a milk product. However, because it's a whey protein isolate and it typically is lower in lactose, I don't really think for the average person they need to have the lactase to help break it down even more. Then we have cellulase, which to be honest, I have no idea why this is in the product. Cellulase is an enzyme that helps to break down cellulose, which our body can't digest. And cellulose is found in different plants. So for it to be in this product, it just doesn't really make sense. And finally, it has lipase, which helps to break down lipids or fat. And this product doesn't have any listed fat on their nutrition facts table, so this one I really don't understand either. What my assumption is that they just add their proprietary digestive enzyme blend to all of their products, kind of more of a marketing thing. And so maybe that's the reason it's in this product, but really I just don't think these digestive enzymes are really going to do much for you in terms of digesting a whey protein isolate, which is already easy to digest. So now let's look at some of the other ingredients. So the vanilla flavor uses natural vanilla, which is fine, but if you go to the other flavors, sometimes they use both natural and artificial flavoring. So just keep that in mind that it's not the same across the board. So some use only natural flavoring and others use both. Now for natural vanilla, that doesn't mean that they actually use directly vanilla beans. What this means is they probably use an extract or an essence that's derived from the vanilla bean, because products that actually use vanilla bean paste or vanilla beans themselves will list that on the label because they're quite proud of it. I'm not saying that natural vanilla is bad or anything, but I just wanted to clarify that. When it comes to artificial flavors, these are synthetically made, and technically they are recognized as safe by the FDA and Health Canada. However, some people do choose to avoid artificial flavorings due to personal health concerns. Whether you decide to use natural or artificial flavoring is up to you, but just know that you need to be careful in terms of which flavor you choose because some have it and some don't. Then we have two types of gums. So we have guar gum and xanthan gum. And gums are very commonly added to protein powders. It's very rare to actually find a protein powder that doesn't have them. And the reason why is because gums help to thicken and stabilize the product. And guar gum and xanthan gum are one of the more popular ones added. So guar gum comes from the guar plant, and then xanthan gum comes from the fermentation of a bacteria known as Xanthomonas. And technically speaking, gums are generally recognized as safe by all major health authorities, including the FDA, Health Canada, and the European Food Safety Authority. When it comes to protein powders, it's very rare not to find ones that have at least one or two different gums in them because of the stability they provide to the product. So it's totally up to you whether or not you want to consume them. They are generally recognized as safe, but some people still do express concerns, and so that's a personal choice that you're going to have to make. But just keep in mind, it's pretty hard to find a protein powder that doesn't have these. Bloom's protein powder also has maltodextrin, which is commonly used as a filler in protein powders. I'm not in love with this, and I don't really see why they needed to add this. It could also be to contribute to some sweetness, but I really don't think this is an ingredient that's totally necessary. Then we see that it has silica or silicone dioxide. This is another very controversial ingredient, but the reason why it's usually added is for its anti-caking properties, so preventing the ingredients from lumping together and really just allowing for a nice smooth consistency when you scoop it. Technically also, it is generally recognized as safe, so it is regarded by all the major health authorities as being safe for consumption, and that's why it is added in this product. That being said, there are growing concerns with this ingredient, and some people really choose to avoid them. Right now, the European Food Safety Authority is doing a reevaluation of the ingredient to see if there is any updated research on its health effects. But to date, there really isn't any evidence to suggest it has harmful effects, especially in the really small amounts that are found within food products like this. And there doesn't seem to be any data that suggests it has long-term negative health effects. And as a result, Health Canada, the FDA, and the European Food Safety Authority do all allow it in products like this. And so this is just one of those things, again, you can make a judgment call for yourself in terms of whether or not you want to have it. And then finally, we have two sweeteners known as sucralose and ACE-K, which are very, very popular. Both of these are considered artificial sweeteners, so they are synthetically made. And these two artificial sweeteners are really commonly used because they are very, very sweet compared to sugar, so they don't really need to add a high amount to get the same properties that they would if they were just to add regular sugar. So sucralose has about 600 times the sweetness of sugar, while ACE-K has about 200 times the sweetness. So again, it's really popular because they can add such a small amount to the product and get the same sweetness level. And you're going to see a trend here, but sucralose and ACE-K are considered safe for consumption, just like the other ingredients I mentioned. So the acceptable daily intake for ACE-K is 15 milligrams per kilogram body weight per day. And for sucralose, it's 5 milligrams per kilogram body weight per day. So you really have to consume a very, very high amount before there are any concerns. That being said, some people do choose to avoid artificial sweeteners due to different health concerns. And there is conflicting research in terms of its effect on things like our gut microbiome. And there's very limited research in terms of its link with different types of cancers. However, again, we still need more robust research over time. What we know at this point in time is that it'd be very, very challenging to get such high amounts of these artificial sweeteners that it would pose any of these risks. And it is considered safe for consumption, again, by the major health authorities. Whether you choose to avoid them or not is totally up to you. I just wanted to provide you with the information. I personally don't love to consume artificial sweeteners, so this isn't one that I would personally go for, but that's just my personal opinion, and you're gonna have to make the decision for yourself. A lot of people do consume artificial sweeteners and they have no issues, so that's up to you whether or not you want a product that has them or not. I will say I personally prefer protein powders that have as minimal ingredients as possible, and there are some extra ingredients in this product like the artificial sweeteners and the artificial flavorings that I don't necessarily think are needed. So that's just a personal preference, and again, you kind of have to navigate that yourself. If you really don't like the taste of protein powders though, and having an artificial flavoring and sweetener helps you take it in, and maybe it helps to increase your protein intake, and you don't mind it yourself, then maybe this is a good option for you. Okay, so now how much does it cost? According to their website, a 30-day supply is $49.99 US or $69 Canadian. So this equals $1.66 US or $2.30 Canadian per serving. And this is pretty standard for a protein powder. Should you buy Bloom Nutrition Whey Protein Isolate? Overall, I would say that the product is okay. I haven't tried it personally, so I can't comment on the taste. The thing with taste though is that's so personal and subjective that even if I told you if I enjoyed the taste or not, you might disagree with me. And as we see on their website, some people really love the taste and then other people don't like it at all. In terms of its protein content, I do think it provides a pretty good amount of protein per serving, and they do use a very high quality protein source. However, I do wish that they would provide the amino acid profile because I am looking to see the amounts that are actually in the product, in particular leucine. In terms of the digestive enzyme blend, I don't really think it's necessary. It's not harmful in any way. I just don't think it's a necessary ingredient. And again, I personally prefer as minimal ingredients as possible in protein powders. In terms of the other added ingredients, I don't necessarily think they need to be adding all of these extra flavorings and sweeteners. That's just my personal opinion. Some people really do like them and that's how they can enjoy protein powders, while other people prefer more minimal ingredients. So that one's a personal choice. On their website, they do say that their products are third-party tested. I can't see on their website or on the specific label for this protein powder that is third-party tested. So I will give them the benefit of the doubt and assume it is third-party tested, which helps to ensure product quality and consistency. But I will say, if anyone from Bloom is watching this, it would probably be really good to boldly say it on your website and on the label, just to be as clear as possible, because that is something that people are looking for. Do I think it's the best protein powder out there? No. Do I think it's a bad product? No. I think it is an option for people. And it probably is a good protein powder for people who really struggle with the taste of protein powders, and so having these flavorings and sweeteners might help the palatability of the product. If you are looking for a protein powder with as few added ingredients as possible, then this one might not be right for you. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other products or topics you want me to cover. And if you did enjoy this video, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to my channel because your support helps me reach more people like you. And I'll see you in the next video.